Break out the leather, roll up a gauntlet all the way up to your fucking armpit. It's been a year, but have no goddamn motherfucking fear. The Chop Shop is back. My god, Disky, my man, it's been way too long. Like we're saying off air, life happens. Welcome back to the channel and the show. How have you been, bud?
I've been surviving. I think like everyone else has been surviving COVID. I can't see how anyone else can do anything but survive right now, but I've been pretty decent. It's been a hectic year. I can't say it's been a bad one, but it's definitely been a hectic year. A lot of missed out metal concerts. This year. I'm not gonna fucking lie, man. I had Megadeth tickets.
Yeah. Ugh. That's rough.
Oh yeah, that is pretty rough.
But
we could probably edit this conversation out.
No, we're not editing anything out because not everything stays on the cutting room floor. Because with one good thing that comes from the pandemic, when you're quarantined inside, it gets you a hell of a chance to check out your backlog, your vinyls, your CDs, whatever the fuck you listen to, whatever form of metal you're into. I got to play a lot of catch up. Honestly, for me, I got to discover a shitload of new bands during this quarantine season. I don't know about you, but I did.
Really? I mean, I kind of went the opposite direction. I started like finding bands that I've been told to listen to for years, and then I finally listened to them, and I end up loving them a lot. Like that's where I've been. Like backlog checking, essentially. I can't really say there's a lot of new music that I know of that interests me. Maybe you can enlighten me on some new stuff. But I've been listening to like a lot of Sabaton.
Nice. I've been listening to a lot of Sabotage, not Pirate Sabotage, but John Oliva Sabotage.
Oh, really? Oh, that who else? Fucking Candlemass. I've been listening to a lot of Candlemass lately because I only knew that one song, Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a pretty brutal band. I love them. Like old Opeth, before they went like weird prog metal type of like really old Opeth.
Yeah.
When they were like still like kind of like a death metal band. It was pretty sick. Pretty sick music back then, man. I don't know why they would change that sound. Like I heard them live. The last concert I went to before COVID was actually Opeth, and I was only able to stay for 2 songs because I had to be at work at 3 a.m. the next day. And that just kind of got dropped on my plate right then and there. But I got to stay for 2 songs. They played a new song, and then they played an old song. I don't remember the songs' names, if I'm being completely honest with you. But once they started playing the old shit, they sounded awesome. And I was like, damn, like... And it was 2 completely different songs. And you can tell just by listening to them.
Right on.
But then COVID hit. We missed out on Megadeth. It was Megadeth and Lamb of God. I missed out on seeing the both of them. I missed out on seeing Rammstein. I had Deftones tickets. I know people don't consider them metal, but I did have Deftones tickets. I've never seen the Deftones before, and I've always wanted to see them. You have a band like that. You have a band that you've always wanted to see, but every opportunity you got to see them, something got in the way. Have you ever had something like that happen?
Oh, for sure. Many a times. But yeah, I've been all over the place. You know, we've all been bored and cooped up and all this shit and trials and tribulations. What a shit fucking fest year this was. I've just been all over the place, like I said. Lately, and we're not just going to talk just metal. I love me some horror punk. I love me some good old-fashioned rock and roll type stuff. I love. Are you familiar with Blitzkid, the classic horror punk band?
No, I'm gonna be completely honest with you here, and we could probably have a discussion about this sometime. I'm not totally sold on punk. Not totally sold on it. There's punk bands I really enjoy. I enjoy the Misfits. I enjoy the Vandals. I enjoy Rancid, bands like that. Like I could probably name a few. If you name like rattle off a couple, I'll probably be like, yeah, I like that band. Oh, I like that band. Like I like the really obscure punk for some reason. Like the Adolescents. I love the Adolescents.
Yes, yes.
And
AAA,
now,
Leftover Crack.
Yeah, leftover crack is like the crust punk shit, and that's when like I kind of like start being like, I'm not into crust punk really. It's not my thing. I'm not really into it. It's just not my thing.
Well, I noticed one of the first bands out of your mouth was the Misfits, and the best way for me to sum up Blitzkid, they've been broken up for a while now, but I would say between them, the Crimson Ghosts, the most modern and closest we're gonna get to like the Misfits when the Misfits didn't suck. Like I always said that when Michael Graves joined the Misfits, it's like having a cake and calling it bread, if that makes sense. You know, like or it's like having bread and calling it cake. I said that backwards. It's late. Fuck that up. Sorry. But Blitzkid had a spin-off. The singer Argyle Goolsby and the Roaming Midnight has been one of my go-to bands this year. They covered a song from Fright Night. I mean, Jesus Christ, they write songs about Renfield from Dracula and like Renfield's point of view. Definitely got to link you that, and you guys check it out too, listening. But I
actually just looked them up, and I'm listening to the song "Teenage Necrophilian Love," and I feel like I've heard this song before.
There you go.
So I may be familiar with. Like that's the thing with me. Like I'll totally forget a band's existence.
Same.
And then you'll play a song by them. I'm like, oh, I remember that song. Oh, I know who that is.
Now,
and it always brings me joy when that happens.
The last time we did this, we went with, dare I say, the granddaddies, one of the granddaddies, the Forerunners, the Trailblazers, the almighty band Death, led by Chuck Schuldiner and the boys. And my God, what an episode, what a band, what a time that was. I mean, what is there left to say that we haven't already really said about that band and just the technicality? I mean, you can even go into Control Denied, his spin-off band, what's funny about Chuck is he never really wanted to do the like he just wasn't talented to do the harmonic-y vocals. He always wanted to do that. That's why he got a great studio musician to do that for Control Denied. But to me, I to this day, man, I still say Death's best album is their last one in '98, above Leprosy for me. It just across the boards. That album in '98, just there's not a bad song on it. Still,
I have to go with Sound of Perseverance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Like that's what I gotta go. Like I have to really go with that. Like that's definitely my favorite album by them. I love every song on that album. I can listen to that album for days. And then like there's the full issue album that has the Painkiller cover on it.
Yes.
And then, oh my God, his Painkiller cover is so good.
It really is. Would you put Sound of Perseverance in your top 5 metal albums of all time? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know. It's such a powerful and influential album. I think it has to at least be in the top 10 of best metal albums of all time. It has to at least be in the top 10. It has to at least be in the top 10. My personal favorite is Where You Got Me because, all right, one of them is obviously occupied by Maiden. One of them is occupied by Iced Earth. One of them is occupied by Blind Guardian. Mm-hmm. This just should tell you about my taste in metal, and then definitely Dio.
This is why we get along so goddamn well, by the way. What is your favorite Maiden album that you would put in that spot?
Power Slave.
That's good. It's a good pick. I'm partial to Peace of Mind just for nostalgic reasons and back in the day skateboarding and just, Revelations is such an amazing song for me. But asking me to pick my favorite Iron Maiden album is like asking me to pick my favorite child. You know, it's really hard to. Now you got some stinkers in there along the way. A lot of people are on the fence about Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I love Moonshot. I love that album. Can I Play with Madness?
Yeah, I love Seventh Son. Yeah, no, those are great songs. I love that album. Like, even the Blaze Bayley stuff isn't that bad. Like, The Klansman is a really good song, and I got to hear Bruce sing it live, and of course, like, nice. I'm very partial to Bruce. I know a lot of people like to poop on Bruce, the elitists kind of like, oh, well, Paul Di'Anno was the real vocalist, and Paul Di'Anno's great.
Yeah.
But Blaze Bayley killed that song. I thought he did such a like you could play The Klansman anytime and I'll listen to it. It's one of my favorite Maiden songs.
I think, and I love the original singer from Maiden too. The original self-titled album is tremendous, but I think Bruce just refined what that kind of vocalist style should be for that kind of powerish metal. You know what I mean? It's just it's Bruce, man, you know. Fencing and all that shit.
He influenced a lot of bands. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even like talking about a band that has like great albums and then a lot of stinkers. I feel like Iced Earth is in that category as well. They have some really good albums and then they have some really bad albums. Like they're like the last album they came out with, I really wasn't a fan of. The album before that, it wasn't that good. Dystopia, I liked. That was like the first one they did with the new singer, and the new singer's really good and they're really good live. But like, it's just John Schaefer's writing has kind of just gotten away from him, I feel like, and seeing him and Hansi Kirish from Blind Guardian when they played I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. It's something with a K, I think that's what it is. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I don't speak German, but seeing Demons and Wizards live and seeing John Schaefer on stage with Hansi, and then Matt Barlow comes out in the middle of them covering an Iced Earth song. And if you really want to hear some dope music, listen to the lead singer of Blind Guardian cover The Burning Times by Iced Earth. It is incredible. He just, I love power metal vocal voices, and Bruce helped pay the way for stuff like that, man. He really did. He really helped pay the way for stuff. And so did Dio. Dio is the pioneer, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, he's Davy Crockett as far as power metal, right?
Yeah, no, here's a controversial opinion for you. Dio was better in Black Sabbath than Ozzy.
It depends for me what mood I'm in. Because for me, my all-time favorite Sabbath album, come at me in the comments, whatever, is Volume 4. There isn't a bad track on Volume 4. From Supernaut to Changes, I love that album. And I would offend that fucking album to say, but when Dio came in, harmonics and just that, Ozzy couldn't touch him, flat out. Ozzy had that creepy wail, ghoulish tone, you know what I mean? That banshee, but Dio was just chef's kiss. That is Sabbath. No, I mean, I figure we pretty much reached the tail end of this little toes in the water episode. So before it shits the bed again, we got a bunch of feelers out there, a bunch of stuff for you guys to check out, a bunch of homework for you guys. This is not a typical Chop Shop episode. It's just our return, true to form, what we are going to be in the near future. Tech issues aside, Disky, it's been really great to have you back, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to do it again, and this time hopefully not have a bunch of crashes.
God bless phones.
But that's really it.
Until then, man, for all the Max Sabbath love bites, Dios, sabotages, pirate metal, and every metal in between, one more time, man, where can everyone catch you? All that good stuff.
At Chris Show Coops on Twitter, twitch.tv/Fringo_games, and the Fringo channel on YouTube.
We will see you on the next edition of the Chop Shop with way less bullshit going on. And as always on Twitter at the Hibiki TV, that red button where you're down below, hit the subscribe. All the goodness, retro gaming, pro wrestling, and now once again, the Heavy Metal Podcast. Until then, this is the Chop Shop. See you then.